All right. So we are recording. So we're starting with our gesture of the lotus, allowing it to open up. And we're gonna take 4 deep breaths all the way into our abdomen with a nice supported position. Just really arriving with our lotus mudra here. So on your own timing, when you're ready, you can begin your 4 deep breaths. Whenever you finish your 4 deep breaths, just come back to the natural breath. Allowing yourself to just be for a few moments more. And let's go ahead and set an intention for this time, a short time for yourself. It can be just for this time or for this time and going forward after class ends. So just let the whatever message to yourself needs to come, allow it to come with a few more breaths, and then we'll continue. And with that intention and those breaths, go ahead and just fold your lotus flower so you're in Anjali Mudra, which is the prayer mudra, just right in front of your chest, and then just give yourself a little bow. Just honoring yourself for being here today. And a deep inhale in, and then go ahead, open mouth, sigh it out. Good, one more of those. A deep inhale in. Nice. Lovely. Hopefully we're a little more arrived. I know a little bit of American Sign Language. I learned back in college. And the sign for here is this. This is a circular motion with your palms up. And I think that's just so beautiful. It's a language, and it also feels that particular sign kind of like a mudra to me. And sometimes just doing that, especially that circular motion, is very comforting to me and reminds me like I'm here, like to be here and to be open and placed right wherever we are. Like, okay, I'm physically here, spiritually here, mentally here. So just a little extra little sandwich, and it's actually below, kind of by your rib cage. I'm just bringing it up to show you the sign. So back to our mudra, the gesture of the lotus. You just did it with your breath, which is great. So this mudra is supporting, we're on our 4th chakra, which is our heart center. And the color associated with this is emerald green, which I think is one of the most beautiful colors. So I really love that. And I love the color of green, right, being associated with the heart chakra, thinking of growth and the growth of the heart, the growth of the emotions. Yeah, it's really beautiful. So the 4th chakra in Sanskrit, the name actually means unstruck. And I first saw this, I was like, unstruck, like, what does that mean? Like, is the heart like a gong that you, well, kind of, it's referring to both the subtle sounds that like the innermost heart makes, and also the fact that basically, in yogic philosophy, beyond your emotional heart, you have the subtle heart that can't be destroyed. And so this heart is the heart that can't be broken. It can't be struck to the breaking point. So it's, this idea of this ongoing sound and rhythm, right? This if you can think of very like calming, deep tone, that's kind of what I think of, like, oh, this kind of almost like, I guess for me, this is my imagination, like a really deep Gregorian chant, like when they're all like in unison, like, in the heart, and that can't be shattered, right? And get really spastic. It can feel like it, and our emotional heart can be that way, but we can access that subtle heart. So this gesture of the lotus helps us do that. It helps bring balance to this area. If you are out of balance in the fourth chakra, you can imagine how you feel, right? You can imagine that you feel very up and down, and not sure in life, and having maybe you're thinking too much of like the past and hurts, right, that are there, because this is an emotional center, and not able to be as present and as tenacious for the present moment and what you need to do. And the next present moment, which of course we call the future. So the core, each mudra has a core quality or core qualities that they awaken. So chakras have core qualities that they're associated with, and so do the mudras. And this mudra's core quality is unconditional love. So really beautiful. And to be able to think about that for ourselves, unconditional love, right, is where the focus is, at least right now. You can always take these mudras and these meditations and also do a loving kindness meditation with them. Maybe try that if you've ever done that, where you send out love and energy to a person or persons. Maybe next time try doing that with the lotus and see how that supports your heart center in doing that. So you can do that with it. But yeah, unconditional love for ourselves. It's also, cultivating sensitivity, which sometimes is given a negative rap. But this sensitivity with wisdom, right? And of course, we want all our chakras to be balanced. That's the goal. Is important. We need that. We need that to develop empathy and sympathy in the world. So that's what's kind of what we're nourishing with this mudra and this meditation. It's a little bit more on the energizing side, not too much. It's kind of in the middle when regards to like a mudra, right? Some of them are very calming and more downward, and some of them moves the prana or the energy a little bit more up. So this is a little bit more activating, a little bit like, hey, heart, like, awaken, and we can pay attention and cultivate some compassion, right? And sensitivity. So each chakra is also represented by a lotus flower. So this one, the mudra, is a lotus flower, but each chakra also has a symbol of a lotus flower with a certain number of petals and symbolism. So this lotus flower is emerald green, and in the middle of it is a 6-pointed star. And it's that way because it's 2 triangles that are opposite. So it's a little bit, it reminds me of yin and yang, is how I remember it. But what it's representing is actually the integration of the upward chakras and the lower chakra. So it's, again, like meeting at the heart, meeting at this, middle space, and bringing things together. So that's the symbolism with this chakra. And Padma means lotus, Padma mudra. Let me look making sure I look at my notes that I hit our points here. Oh, so the heart chakra also, the chakras are associated with different elements, and the heart chakra is associated with the air element. So there's a lightness, there's a gracefulness. And, again, I feel like sometimes that idea of lightness and gracefulness can get a bad rap. Like, maybe you've heard, I know for me, it's like, oh, I have to toughen up and have a tough heart, and um, sometimes can strangely associate even like courage with toughness. So just, yeah, to remember that these are just words that we say, and there's such depth to the experiencing the movement of your chakra, the balancing of your chakra. And so, being open to these words, maybe if one, you think, oh, what does that mean? Like, gracefulness of the heart. And I don't have all those answers, right? But when we practice and we concentrate and we send energy, then those things do become more clear. And for me personally, integration is a big word that I think of with this chakra. I need integration with my chakras. I need integration with my head and my heart because I'm a very head person. And also the word gracefulness. The word grace for me has been a lifelong, I guess I've been in love with that word because my full name actually means house of grace, by the waters. And then my married name means sparrow. I'm very into names and words. And so having been named something that means house of grace, to hold grace within me, I really thought about what that means, and to be a sanctuary place of grace for others and for myself. And so the idea of gracefulness for me is so much more expanded than, just, oh, I'm graceful, I drink my tea with grace, which there's nothing wrong with that either. Like, that's lovely. And I love moving with grace. So that's a little tidbit there. And for me, some personal. So hopefully as you practice, you will also find, personal connections, personal visions, letting your imagination and then your mind and your heart really find a place where you go, oh, that makes sense for me. Oh, that clicks for me. And oftentimes it happens after you practice. Okay. So I think I said, yeah, let's meditate. Da, 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 da. Yeah, supporting the immune system with this one. Yeah, directs breath to thymus gland. That's an interesting tidbit to know. That's very connected. Yeah, okay, yeah. So again, I personally like to unfold my lotus from Anjula Mudra. It's the Anjula Mudra, the prayer pose, is acknowledging the divine within us. That's that mudra. So it's really nice to start with this. I acknowledge the divine and I open my heart from that space. So you're welcome to do that, or you could bring it together like this, right? Have a little dance, either way, whichever way feels great to you. And it is held in front of your heart space. And encouragement always to bring the shoulders back and down, create that clear channel for your prana to flow, for your breath to flow. So there's a lot of information. So we're going to go into the meditation and just allow our thoughts to flow. I'm going to take the meditation from our book. Not book. So go ahead and begin to close your eyes and adopt the Padra Mudra, the Lotus Mudra. And once again, just tap into your breath. How is it just to sit here with this mudra again? Are there any feelings awakened by this gesture? Sensations? Just notice them. And then you can just bring your attention back to the breath. Just begin to direct your breath to the center of your chest, the seat of your fourth chakra. This is your center of unconditional love. With each inhaling breath, the frontiers of your heart open gradually. And with each exhalation, you create a space in which to embrace all of your fourth chakra's essential qualities. Visualize your heart center as a fertile field for the blossoming of these qualities. A green meadow filled with wildflowers of all colors, shapes, and varieties. Take some time to see yourself strolling through this meadow, allowing each flower that you meet to unfold one of your heart's essential qualities. The first flower you meet awakens the quality of lightness of being, your ability to move through life gracefully, savoring its sweetness without taking anything too personally. Take several breaths to envision yourself integrating lightness into all of your activities, allowing you to live with greater ease at each moment along your journey. With breath infusing ease, awakening ease and lightness from your fourth chakra. And if your thoughts get distracted from this, just coming back with lightness and ease to the breath, to the flower. As you continue through your garden with greater ease, you're drawn to the flower of gratitude. This flower allows you to see that everyone and everything you meet plays an essential role in revealing your life's deeper meaning. Take several breaths to sense the color, texture, and fragrance of gratitude filling your being with deep appreciation for every moment of living. As gratitude fills your being, the flower of communion draws you to it naturally, allowing your heart to beat in synchronicity with the heart of all beings. Take several breaths to absorb the color and fragrance of communion, envisioning all those with whom you share your journey living in greater harmony. As you continue through your garden with a greater sense of communion and harmony, you naturally perceive the flower of compassion. It unfolds before you. As compassion unfolds, take some time to offer a heartfelt prayer for the happiness of all beings, recognizing that just like yourself, each one seeks love within the limits of their understanding. Now, embrace all the flowers of your heart as a single bouquet, allowing unconditional love to blossom naturally as the essential fragrance of your true being. Unconditional love is the essential fragrance of your true being. affirm your heart's qualities, repeating the following 3 times aloud or silently. Awakening my heart's essential qualities, unconditional love blossoms naturally. I'll say it again. Awakening my heart's essential qualities, unconditional love blossoms naturally. Now, slowly release the gesture of the lotus and take several breaths to sense the awakening of all your heart chakra's essential qualities. When you are ready, you will open your eyes and return slowly and gently, bringing the colors and fragrances of your inner garden into all of your activities. And as you are opening your eyes and coming back, just notice. Notice how you feel, what's different about your body, if there is something, the room, the space, your thoughts. Let's just give you a few breaths to notice. So, I really love this meditation. I love flowers. So, this one really works for me, especially not all visualization works for me, but I particularly love colors. And so, flowers, of course, are very colorful. And um, yeah, I just feel that they're kind of angelic beings of the earth. Um, so I hope that you were able to receive and know that you do take this with you. It's in your body. You know, your body creates memories implanted. So, um, and all of our chakras are at work, even when we focus on one particular chakra. And for this one, our wisdom body chakra, right, we think of that a third eye, is really helping teach us to see through the eyes of the heart and to see through the eyes of the heart with compassion. Yeah, so your whole self is supporting. It's like all the other chakras and the parts are going, okay, we're going to put our energy here and help you. Yeah. Any comments or anything that you want to share? You don't have to. Just sometimes saying something out loud or sharing with our little group can be beneficial, or someone would like to. So if you would like to, you may, or not. Let me unmute you just to make sure, because I don't want you to not be able to talk if you want to talk. You can also type in chat too. That works. Good time to get balanced. I'm going to open up I'm going to share my screen with you in a second here. Let me get that. All right, well, that's good. If you don't have no shares, that's totally fine. Keep the experience. Okay, I'm going to see if I can share this screen. We're going to open up a flower, which is beautiful. And yeah, maybe you even pictured it in the meditation. There we go. All right. Can you both see the lavender?
Yes.
Okay, great. Thank you. Always like to check that. Oops. Okay. Wonderful. So I love this picture of lavender. So we're carrying our flowers with us and our fourth chakra to talk about the beautiful lavender. And we'll do some breathing, more breathing. We're still breathing. We're always breathing. I love this photo because it gives us a close-up and we see the lavender fields, right, just going on and on. And I am originally from California. I was born and raised there. I was there for first 21 years of my life. And there's some beautiful lavender fields in California, though it gets so hot. You know, a lot of them have struggled over the years. But so I've had the privilege of being able to go to a lavender farm. And man, like the fragrance, it really is intoxicating, right? There's something that the volatile oils like really can change. They change your brain chemistry. I mean, it's really amazing what can happen and how you can feel really more at peace. So that was definitely, you know, a unique experience that we don't always get with the herbs, to be exposed to that many at once. You know, that that overwhelming sense, right? I mean, even just drinking a cup of tea of lavender is very powerful. So being in a field, you know, if you've had that experience, you know, or a field of something else, you're like, wow, just the mass of something. It's really a blessing. So lavender has been my friend for a while, and it's probably one of the first that I ever got into. You know, herbs that I got into. It's definitely one that's people are more familiar with. It's used in fragrances, right, and eye pillows, and in little potpourri, you know, things, and cooking lavender honey. It's so good. And it really is a wonderful medicinal plant. So it's known mostly, and it is very good for this, as a calming, peaceful plant. And it really does. The volatile oils really affect tension in the body this way. It's a really great soother for anxiety and for tension. And you know, a lot of plants that are doing work on the mind, part of that is because they're doing work on the gut, right, or other organs of the body, because those are linked to the mind, especially through the vagus nerve, which has that direct link, has a gut brain link that more and more science is finding out about. So we have this direct physical, you know, connection, but also on an energetic level. There's something that, you know, these plants are doing different things in different ways that they've been represented, and that traditions and cultures have taken them on, you know, and even maybe expanded on that, and through the years shared that. So there's different ways that the plants bring us healing, you know, energetically, physically, and also through each other, our experiences. You know, I think that I found even more healing from lavender. I have a friend who is in love with lavender. I mean, like, this is her plant. And she speaks about it like, just, she loves it. And she talks about how grateful she is for it, right? And oh, she just wants to consume it all the time. And when I opened my heart to her experience, she was my roommate. And so I actually was really affected by this love that she had for lavender. Not that I didn't like it already. I was like, wow, it really is an amazing plant. So that's just one example of somebody's lived experience that we can go, yeah, I want to be open to you, to another person and what they have. And then another way is through traditions, right? Um, which many herbalists, myself included, right, on this path, going, okay, what are the ancient practice of, the ancient practitioners of these plants? And okay, what did some Native American groups use with this? What did the Greeks do? How did they involve it, in ceremonies, in fashion, right, in all these different ways? And what's a way that can speak to me and that I can learn? Um, so yeah, I encourage you to think about that, lavender stories or plant stories, and how through other people the plants can speak to us. So this plant is really good for high-strung, nervous people, right? A little bit self-absorbed people. This is like on an energetic level, kind of working in this way, and of course that can create more tension and tension headaches. So lavender is an aromatic, right? Like I said, it has volatile oils in it. So it's when you encounter a plant like that, like we talked about rosemary, these plants in the mint family, they are very good for headaches and tension, when you think of like constriction in the body and tension. So this is a great one to diffuse in your house because it's safe, and it's, just a very good thing to have in this time. And if we are inside more, to bring nature to us and to help diffuse that. It's also a really powerful digestive bitter. Lavender is very bitter. If you oversteep lavender tea, which I've done, oh my God, you're like, it's one of the most bitter, actually, plants that I've ever had. And we did an experiment and with my herbalism teacher, and she purposely gave, different steep times for lavender, and people were surprised at how bitter this plant could be, because it's not really known for that as much, but it is. And so bitters are associated with helping our digestion, helping, the liver produce bile and move things along. So it does aid you. So if you need to help move things along and digest, drink a cup of lavender tea before you eat. You can also do it after too, before, kind of, if you do take bitters before, they start the process so that you digest the food a little better. It's a decongestant, which a lot of these plants with the volatile oils are. And so it's definitely one that's working on your lungs and clearing mucus from the body, which is great. It's also, a mild pain reliever. So we know that it works with headaches, but it also can, you can also mix it if you want to try it with like peppermint for like tummy aches, even as a topical, for muscle spasms. It's not one of necessarily the first that people think of going for this, but it doesn't necessarily hurt, right, to combine it. A lot of herbs are very safe to combine them and use them if you have it. It's great for nervous exhaustion, right? Fatigue that is coming from that nervous exhaustion and overexertion. So it's calming, but it also, can be not like a pick me up, like, oh, I'm so tired, I need caffeine to pick up. But again, if you're like at that state where like, I can't rest because I'm so tired, which I experience a lot of being a new mom. This is a good one to work with. So people with insomnia, right? People with IBS symptoms, that also has to do, right, with thinking about it as a bitter. It's helping your colon, and it's also just helping your nervous system calm down. When your nervous system can calm down, then everything else can work better and clear up. So tincture is different than essential oils, and there's a lot of different ways to take herbs. And with this one particularly, the essential oil is going to do a lot of great work, and you can combine it with other oils. You do want to be careful always with essential oils and taking those directly, because I have seen, unfortunately, some information goes out and it's like, oh, it's safe to put it, and I thought this years ago, put it in your tea, the oil directly in your tea, or take like capsules, and it's really not. And we don't even know enough about taking the straight oil to be able to say that. But so you wouldn't really want to take it that way, but it's totally fine to take it as a tea. You can try it as a tincture. Um, there was actually, it was interesting. I was looking at a study. It's just a little nerdy fun, but it was used for people with generalized anxiety disorder and PTSD, and anxiety related restlessness. And it actually was working just as well as the benzodiazepines and the SSRIs that people were on. And those pharmaceuticals can have really severe side effects and long-term, negative effects. Not saying, everybody's on their different road of what they can take, but why not take an herb if you can take an herb, over that. And that was it was really interesting to look at. So what else? Oh, it's also used in bug sprays. And you might have seen that if you do buy a natural bug spray. And I have the natural ready-made, but also sometimes what I do to protect myself, because I react, or if somebody, or kids who like react and that they just get a mosquito bite and they go, I actually take some carrier oil, and I rub it on me, which is great to put good oil on you anyway. Jojoba oil is good, almond oil, whatever. And then, take some lavender oil, some peppermint, some of the oils that the bugs don't like. And then you smell amazing. It's healthy for you. It's going through your skin. The skin's the fastest absorbent, and you're fielding off the bugs. So it's a great one to use. So this is just, some little things about lavender. Any comments about lavender? Do you use lavender? Have you ever drank lavender tea? I'm always curious, people, because it can be really strong. Stacy.
No, I've never had the tea, but I think I was telling you last time we did a class together that I have a couple rollers and I have a lavender one. So I use that definitely at night as a slowing down, calming thing. But I'm thinking, after just hearing you talk, I think I'm going to send a roller with my son his first year of college. I think he could use some calm.
Right. Yeah. And where do you place it before bed? Where on your bed?
On my wrist points, and then actually behind my ears.
Okay. Yeah, that's great. I mean, that's definitely that whole area, right? That's a lot of cognitive. You could try also on the bottom of your feet.
Okay.
You definitely have, I'm not a reflexologist, but there definitely are pressure points, and also your feet do absorb things really quickly. So that's a really good way to put it on before bed too. And you could also try, if you haven't already, too, call me and tell your son to take a little lavender foot bath, because it doesn't take that much work. It's a little bit, but heat up water, put it in a bucket, and you're basically just making tea, like, for your feet, and that is amazing. It feels so amazing, especially when it gets cooler, right? And that is getting infused in your body too. So that could be a fun. You could even make him. I've done this before, where you're basically making larger tea bags. So you just find bags that you can put it in, and you just say, drop this in the little tub or little basin, and just relax. Read your homework or whatever.
Yeah.
I use a roller. Can you hear me? I use a roller of lavender on my feet, on the bottoms of my feet, before I go to bed.
There you go. Great. And do you notice a difference?
No.
No. It's just more like a mental, I'm doing this.
It's a practice, and a friend gave it to me, so I think about her.
Oh, that's really nice. Wow, I love that. Being blessed by person and the plant through the butt. I love that. That's great. It connects us. Wonderful. Yeah. And you might not feel it. You might, I also change things up. So sometimes I get like a lotion that's infused, right? I'll do the oil, or, I switch it up and see how my body responds. And, sometimes it's just more, smells really good, and I want to put it on. It connects me. So that's great. Good. Well, thank you for sharing. I love to hear how people use the plants, and it makes me happy, and it gives me joy.
I also did put something in the chat box.
Oh, great. I'm going to stop share so that I can see that. Am I back? Do you see me back on the screen?
I don't see you, but I see that screen.
Oh, you don't see me?
No, I'm not getting the full screen anymore. I don't know why. I just got the boxes with the photos of you two. You both.
Oh, that's strange, Priscilla. Okay. But Stacy, you can see me?
Yes, I see you.
Okay. I don't know why that is, Priscilla. It's probably the settings on your Zoom, and I'm sorry that I don't know how to fix that.
Not to worry.
But okay, good to know.
I'm okay with it. I can live with this. I can hear you.
Good. Yeah.
Yeah,
Good.
I can hear you, and that's enough.
Good. Good. Yeah. Um, and thank you for what you shared. I'm reading what you shared in nice. Yes, I can see it. Okay, so you love the meditation and the mudras, but the chakras aren't as much a thing for you.
Yes.
Gotcha. Yeah, totally. I mean, your experience is your experience. That's totally fine. Have you tried, not that there's anything wrong that needs to be fixed, but just an idea of like, just to see if something happens, or if there's like, I never tried that or not. But instead of thinking of it as chakras, just thinking of like the actual like organs. So taking it to the physical body. So this is like Anamaya Kosha body, my physical body, which is different than the, chakra, and saying, okay, I'm focusing on the organ of the heart. Last time we did the third chakra, brain, the sternum, the lungs, or whatever the parts are. Sometimes I find like there's an activation or different noticings that can come. And I don't find often that people focus on that. There's a lot of teaching about like, the chakra and energetically, which I love, is wonderful. But just something, if that appeals to you, that could be, you could see, what physical body parts correspond, right, to this chakra. And I'm gonna think about that, my physical body space, and just see if there's like an opening or what happens.
I would try that. I mean, I've been trying it off and on since long before you were born. They've never spoken to me, but my mind isn't closed.
Yeah. Well, like I said, it could just be that, they can never speak to you. Maybe it's not, but maybe I just love creating open doors for people, to experience more abundance. That's my word, my thing, and to go deeper in. And if chakra is not the thing, fine. But I would offer maybe that physical, like this one was the heart and the thymus gland, excuse me, and the immune system. Right. So you could pick one of those, or, all three of them. But that's something that I like to incorporate too when I teach yoga as well, it's different strokes for different folks, what happens. So
what and where are the thymus gland? Is the thymus gland?
So it's like here. So it's related to,
I'm sorry, I can't see you now.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I forgot. So it's, where your thyroid is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes,
So it's like, from what I know of the thymus gland, it's related to your adrenals and your thyroid. I'm trying to picture, I'm like, wait, am I picturing it in the wrong spot? I don't want to give you the wrong thing. So I need to look this up. I'm like, questioning. But yeah, the thymus gland is a gland, obviously. And so it has to do with secretions and hormones. And it's, it's related to your energy levels, like as in, like adrenals, physically how you feel. And I don't really know too much about the thymus gland, but I know that it is, the next one we're going to is closer to the throat. And I feel like it's kind of like a bridge between like throat, and heart area, like opening up. I'll have to look up more about that.
I can look that up.
No, I'm curious. I need to know it too. I'm like, what? I haven't done a lot of research on the thymus gland. I'm going to take my own advice. I really am, because it's good. So thank you. Good question. All right. Well, let's end here with some more breathing. I'm just going to enter us into a quick Dirga breath, which we've done this at the start of the series, which is the 3-part breath. And thinking also not just 3 parts, but that you're a 3D body. So to remind that breath goes not just in the front, but through the back, right? Through the whole core. And then ujjayi breath is translated also as ocean sounding breath. And you're going to make this, I'll lead you through it when we get to that sound. So let's just do some deep first dirga breaths. I'm going to practice getting deep in there, and then we'll just layer on ujjayi, and then we'll finish with that. So here we go. So go ahead and get comfortable if you're not already. Supported position where you can easily breathe. And just begin to send breath through the nose, down the throat, through the chest, right? Expanding the rib cage, and then all the way to the lower lungs so that the abdomen and lower back expand. And then when you exhale, going in the opposite direction, like a balloon is deflating, the abdomen goes in, the breath travels up through the rib cage, through the chest, through the throat, and out through the nose. This is our dirga breath, 3-part breath. So on your timing, you're inhaling, you're filling all the way up as deeply as you can. And then when you're exhaling, everything's being squeezed out, maybe even just squeezing the breath just a bit as you reach the tip. And then when it's all gone out, immediately filling up again so that there's no space between the in and the out. Just do a couple more of these deep breaths. Not rushing yourself, allowing yourself to fill and allowing yourself to release. And we'll just layer on the ujjayi, the ocean sounding breath. So you're going to continue with your dirga breath, your deep, full breathing. And you're going to begin to make the sound of the ocean by imagining with mouth closed that you're saying ah as you inhale and ee as you exhale. So ah as you inhale, but with mouth closed. So there's a slight constriction in the back of the throat. And then an ee sound with that slight constriction still in the back of the throat. And you should be able to hear your breath, even if just slightly audibly, coming through the throat and through the nose. It's almost as if you are trying to blow out a candle with your nose. Wherever you are, keeping those deep breaths. Take 3 of these Dirja Ujjayi breaths, deep ocean sounding breaths. When you've completed your 3 breaths in your time, just come back to the regular breath. And if you'd like, you can take prayer pose or hands on heart, or just leave your hands on your lap, whatever you like. And just circle back to that intention that you made. And just send yourself gratitude for honoring your time, your intention. And I send you gratitude. Thank you so much. Yeah, Priscilla and Stacy, and for those that will watch the recording, yeah, just for being here and yeah, opening to what our deep wisdom selves have to say. Namaste. Thank you both so much. It's a pleasure always. Pleasure, Stacy and Priscilla.
Thank you.
Yeah, stop